Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Scrap Mechanic, and today I'm going to be attempting to build a car almost entirely out of suspension pieces. Now, this is something I've actually done in Trailmakers, which is a game in which suspension behaves very, very differently, and that turned out this way. I think the game is starting to hate me. Like, gradually more and more, the game is starting to hate this creation. So today I'm curious to try to do a very similar idea in Scrap Mechanic and see if the results are any different. Now, I think I was initially hesitant to do this in Scrap Mechanic because suspension, I think, is a lot laggier in Scrap Mechanic than it is in Trailmakers. So I was afraid it just was gonna lag out the game. But today, I just don't care if it lags. So to keep this classic Scrap Mechanic suspension style, I'm just going to use off-road suspension 1 because, I mean, this is just how suspension looks, okay? Like, this is cool looking and everything, but this really communicates suspension. This is like you got some type of cyberpunk fashion statement to make or something. So we're gonna go with the suspension. I also thought it'd be interesting to have the suspension be on minimum strength settings, so it's just gonna flex at will, pretty much dependent on gravity. So I thought that might be kind of interesting. Okay, so the rules are gonna be suspension has to be everywhere it possibly can be. I'm gonna use standard things like engines, wheels, and seats are not gonna be suspension, obviously. They are functional pieces that are essential to create a working vehicle, but everything else has to be suspension. Now, there's one thing different about Scrap Mechanic suspension as opposed to Trailmaker suspension. In Trailmakers, you can actually attach suspension to suspension, but in Scrap Mechanic, that's not possible. So I will have to use blocks in order to attach suspension to each other and build out this car, whatever this car is gonna end up being. All right, so now comes the weird process of figuring out how exactly this is even gonna work and trying to make it as resource efficient as possible. I think it might be a good idea to have both. Oh, this is actually gonna make it interesting. I'm gonna use both long and short suspension just to have some variety in the dimensions I'm able to use. So this might make things kind of interesting. So I've just started doing this and I already feel like this was a bad idea right off the bat. Just the amount of suspension that I already have just for the front part of the vehicle. Like, I'm just trying to create a wheel well right here, essentially, right now. And I am not feeling good about this. I think this is gonna be the laggiest creation I've probably ever made. Okay, so in order for the wheels to have turning, this is one of the only spots I'm gonna have to double up some of the building blocks here. But you can start to see the dimensions that this vehicle is going to have. I feel like I should have tried to make this just like a little bit more compact, but nope, kind of went all out here. Are these even connected? I don't even think these are connected, and I don't even think I have a way to weld them together. I don't think I can weld two suspension. Like, that's not connected. I actually think that's impossible to connect. What do I do? There's no way for me to weld these together. Oh, I think I just figured it out. I think it is now, I think that worked. I think I actually have to create separate pieces to weld them in, and then it'll work. And you know what? My wheel suspension probably makes more sense to actually have that, have some stiffness to it. All right, so this is what the front is feeling like. Just look at the compression of everything. This is gonna be so, if this doesn't lag out my game and crash me, this is going to actually be so interesting. Okay, so there is the front part of the car. I feel like I should just copy and paste that for the back, to be honest. Like, I don't want a super complicated design here. I just want it to be functional. Let me just delete the seat and let's copy and paste this right to the back. We'll have four-wheel steering. Okay, now this is where I feel like we could suddenly become very laggy. Let's see what happens if this thing is off the lift. Surprisingly, no issues right now. Okay. All right, I'll take that. I will take that so far. I'm I'm trying to jump on the suspension as if they have collisions. All right, so we got that. Now we can put engine on here. All right, so I think the easiest way to finish off this design is to give it a convertible feel, because if I'm going to like angle the windshield, I'm not gonna be able to reattach it back to the frame in the back and create like a full-on roof. So I'm gonna go with the convertible method. That way we don't actually have to reattach it back to the vehicle. So in order to do this, I gotta, I think I'm gonna utilize some wedge blocks at this point. It would be an absolute shame if there wasn't a single wedge block on this entire creation. I'd be betraying Wedge Gang here. All right, so there we go. We got the wedge blocks. All right, and then let's hope I can symmetrically have these meet in the middle. Let's see how this is gonna work here. Okay, so what I need to do, here's my method. I gotta do this, and then this, and this. Then I can detach it. Knock it over. I did not knock it over. There we go. And if I weld it from the bottom, it should weld to both sides. All right, now they should be attached to each other. So now I have a controller here. Nice and convenient. And I can set that on like, what, 30 degrees? Okay, let's see. Oh, there's the lag. Did you feel it? Did you feel the lag? I felt the lag. All right, now let's set everything. I forgot to set all these new suspensions to 0. All right, well, here it is on a lift, suspension car. So, here we go. You guys ready for a terrible frame rate experience? Okay, it's actually not absolutely terrible yet. I haven't started driving around yet. Yeah, this is where things are about to get... Just watching everything compress as I just steer. Oh, that's so... Whoa! The wheels actually steer in place when I do this because the suspension responds to the movement of the axle. That is awesome. Unexpected utility there, but of course all that is gonna go away when I apply the gas and these wheels are just gonna go forward in the wheel well. It just squished. The whole vehicle just squished instantly. I didn't think flipping over in that direction was gonna be a big issue. Okay, let's lower, oh my god, these frames are so bad. Let's lower the engine power here. All right, now let's see what happens. Oh, it gets so small! It gets so small! Okay, back up. That is so fun. You know what, the frames actually aren't that bad. This is such a weird car. It changes its dimensions. Oh, like the side-to-side dimensions. This is even better than I was expecting it to be. This is so much cooler than I was expecting it to be. Oh, it is so cool to watch. See, yeah, I think it is a really good thing that I put them all on, oh, there's suspension glitch going on. I think it was a really good idea to put them all on 0 strength because they just flex at will, at any response in force. Any change in the direction of force just instantly changes the dimensions of the vehicle. It's so cool. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bump up the engine speed by a lot more, and we're gonna try to survive accelerating this thing. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, it's so aggressive. Hold on, how do I can't, oh my, all right, apparently backwards is the way to go. Like everything in Scrap Mechanic, it just works better going backwards. This is so ridiculous. What? Look at what is happening. All right, come on, level out. Level out. It's so weird. Sometimes there's a suspension glitch that doesn't let me rotate quickly. And then sometimes it just instantly flips over. I don't know what causes it to switch back and forth like that. I just want to go straight. See, when I'm going backwards, the suspension glitch keeps me from flipping over dramatically. This is so weird. Why is backwards the better method? I mean, aside from us existing in Scrap Mechanic, in which backwards is almost always the answer. But look at the difference. Forwards, instant flipping over. Now let's try going backwards from a standstill. I mean, theoretically, it should be instant flipping over in the other direction, right? Ready? Backwards? It's so much more resistant. This is how this is meant to be used. This is totally how this is meant to be used. Okay, you know, I'm gonna give this a little bit more of a race car feel just by adding 45 degrees. There we go. Just increase the aerodynamics of it by making it more of a wedge shape with the windshield there. Yeah, so much more aerodynamic. You know, it always tells you when you follow through the world to, it says, hey, stop, you're playing the game wrong. But it never tells me that when I'm doing stuff like this. So, like, what am I supposed to make of that? I feel like this is way worse than falling through the world. It's so weird to watch it, like, slowly expand all of a sudden as the front wheels get traction. Okay, I have to find what is the optimal engine. I want to just drive around without worrying about flipping over. Let's have a nice cruise. This is pretty relaxing. This isn't bad at all. This isn't so bad. Steering is so difficult. You know what? Let me lock up the back steering here. Four-wheel steering is way too much on a car as volatile as this. I want to have a nice stress-free ride here. Stress-free when you're made out of pieces that are under stress. Okay, here we go. See, this feels better with the front wheel steering only. I feel like I'm on a more scenic, less stressful drive. The steering, though, is so shaky just because of when you steer, the outside wheel compresses the car lengthwise. It compresses your wheelbase as you try to turn, which is exactly when you don't want to have a compressed wheelbase. There is that downside. There's that one downside to the suspension car, people. All right, now there's one thing I really have to see with this, and that is, what if I add some thrusters to this thing? I just want to see this thing instantly compressed to its maximum, or I guess minimum potential. All right, I've just hooked up the thrusters to the seat. Are you ready? Here is our maximum length. And 3, 2, 1. Backflip. Oh, that is so good. Oh man, you don't need to, I need to, hold on. I need to actually get rid of the back wheel engine hookup. Yeah, this should actually be better. All right, ready, go. Yeah, now we're not gonna flip over anymore. Oh, this is good. That was, oh, no. The turning is still the issue. Turning is still a big issue. Okay, this is the best creation. This is one of my best creations, I think. I think I can actually increase the engines. I think front wheel drive is the way to go. Okay, I have to see this again. Oh no, what happened? Don't worry, I got it. Backflip. Yeah, oh, no, it's fine, it's fine. We're all good. We're just gonna calm down and drive forward at a reasonable full speed pace. Here we go. Here we go. Oh no, we're flying again. Hey, at least crashing. Look at this. Nice and soft. Nice and cushioned crash landing. Another pro. The safety rating on this thing, well, if you ignore all the other glaring issues, collision impacts will soften the blow for the driver at the cost of a dramatic increase in the likelihood of collisions. So just bear that in mind if you ever purchase yourself a suspension car, a car made of oh, this is gonna be bad. Actually, it wasn't that bad. You know why? Because this, oh no, it's bad. It's kind of bad. You know, it's one thing to get a plane stuck in a tree, but when you get a car stuck in a tree, that's when you really know you're playing the game wrong. You know, I gotta admit, this idea overall turned out better than I expected. The lag was not nearly as bad as I was thinking it was gonna be, considering look at how many suspension we have interacting with each other on the same creation, all extremely close to each other. Like, that's kind of a testament to how far Scrap Mechanic has come as far as optimization goes. I don't think this would be possible a couple years ago. Drivability, you know, this thing actually isn't that bad. Once we tuned in the front wheel steering and the front wheel drive, it is way less likely to flip over if you're driving straight and don't try to turn at all. But if you really try to turn, yeah, that's when stuff like that happens. I think this can go down as another successful invention in the ScrapMan channel history. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other ideas, let me know down in the comments below. Any other stuff you want to see on the channel. If you enjoyed this, you'll probably like some other stuff on the channel that you can see right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.